Let's move on now to the Buffalo Bills rookie preview, where Ryan and I, we will break down why this rookie is going to have the biggest impact on the Buffalo Bills 2023 season amongst all the rookies from their 2023 draft class. But before we do that, Ryan and I, we have a goal of getting to 2,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season, which is just a few weeks away. We're a little bit over, I believe, about 150, 160 subscribers from reaching that goal. So if you have not already, hit the subscribe button and also ring the bell to get notified when we create new content. We have a lot more content coming out between now and the start of the season. And also, once when the season starts, we will be having a season-long competition where Ryan and I, we will predict and make videos on every single NFL game. So if you want to track our competition, see who is right the most, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also ring the bell, as it is the easiest way to get notified when new content is created. And Ryan, let's get into it here.
Let's do it.
This one wasn't too difficult. I actually really enjoyed the Bills draft. I think that they hit key areas, and especially too, it seemed like they were a little bit shorter on draft capital going in, but getting Dalton Kincaid with their first overall pick, I think helps out the offense in so many different ways. I like Dawson Knox. I think he's a fun player to watch, especially to his story as well, but he doesn't have the overall, in my opinion, receiving capabilities someone like Kincaid has, and with his ceiling. Knox is a good, more traditional tight end, line him up in line, help as an additional blocker, which is what the Bills need. But on top of that, though, I actually think he's going to help out Stephon Diggs. I think that goes without being said. But I think he actually helps out Gabe Davis the most. So I feel like Gabe Davis, I really like Gabe Davis as well. I think he is inconsistent at times because maybe he just is not as elite of a level as they need for like a strong number two. Stephon Diggs is going to get his yards and catches. Like, we all know that. Like, Davis can be very hit or miss, going all the way from his 4-touchdown game from the AFC Championship a few years ago to that. I feel like just being very inconsistent for most of last season. I think what Kincaid brings to this offense is he brings a more consistent, legitimate threat, especially in the middle of the field, which is going to help Gabe Davis on the opposite side of the field or whichever spot that he's in. Which is going to be opposite side of the field of Stephon Diggs. So now you have all three areas of the field, right, left, center, covered. And defense really has to be paranoid about it. Dalton Kincaid you can line him up in line as well, line him up in the slot, maybe line up outside. You can really utilize him a lot because of his receiving capabilities. He needs a mismatch to any linebacker or nickel who's definitely going to be on the tinier side. So I really like this pick. I really like what Kincaid's going to bring. I'm curious what his rookie season is going to be like and how long it kind of takes for him before he starts really burning defenses on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at what they tried to do last year, and 2 years ago, Cole Beasley kind of operated the middle of the field, and that was when this offense was really clicking. Last year, I think they tried this experiment with Isaiah McKenzie, and it just didn't really work out. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really curious to see kind of how this Dalton Kincaid experiment works out, but I think he's going to be a much more consistent target over the middle. Isaiah McKenzie struggled with drops, fumbles, injuries, whereas Dalton Kincaid, I think he's a big bruising tight end he's more of a big bruising wide receiver instead of a traditional tight end. And I think he's going to fare well in Buffalo. Josh Allen is going to love him. To me, he's more of their possession receiver, whereas like Stephon Diggs is that true number one and Gabe Davis is the home run threat at all times. Yeah. So like, I think he complements everything really, really well, and he should really be making an impact pretty early on. I think you watched how advanced he was at, I believe, Utah, and he was phenomenal. So I'm really curious to see what he looks like in Buffalo.
Well, you know what's crazy too about Utah? Supposedly he wasn't even the best tight end. Supposedly the tight end before him, and I'm blanking on the name on him right now, but was injured for a majority of the year. But he's coming into the draft next year. So,
oh wow,
supposedly. But yeah, and especially just having another consistent threat, because the run game, no matter how much they've tried over the past couple of years, is something that's been consistent on this channel. The Bills just have not been able to develop a run game, and so they've moved off Devin Singletary.
And I will clarify, a traditional run game.
We're not talking about Josh Allen scrambling for 800 yards, but with that threat essentially not really being non-existent, and defense don't have to worry about that. It's put a lot more pressure on their receivers, on all the receivers, whoever's on the field, and tight ends included, to be able to separate on every single play to create those opportunities, because they like to essentially kind of run the ball through the air with these like quick little screen passes or quick slant routes and design passing plays. And teams can pick up on that. And I think we really saw that start to bite them in the second half of the year. And then going back just to my point where I think it was just a consistency issue for Gabe Davis. He started out the year strong, had 88 yards in the first game, 171 in week 5, a couple games in the high 70s and 90s. But the second half of the year, from week 10 on, the most receiving yards he had in the game was 68. And that was just one time. Next closest one was 56. I think that he's going to provide a lot less. He's going to relieve a lot of pressure from Gabe Davis, who's the number 2. And there's going to be a potential number 2 option, which is, I think, just going to open up the field for both parties. Or it's going to open up for Stephon Diggs, who's going to have 3,000 receiving yards because teams can't double team him. So that's why it just brings so many more options and possibilities, I think, to Josh Allen to throw to on a consistent basis.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I'm really looking forward to what this Bills offense looks like in this current evolution. I think they've had very different schemes. Well, not very different, but different strategies 2 years ago, last year, and then now this year. I think they're going to be pretty tight end heavy. So I'm interested to see it. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And leave a comment down below on who your favorite Bills rookie is going to be to watch in 2023. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.